Saturday at John's.
How much of this do you want milled off? Half of that?
Yeah.
We're not taking anything off that little thing.
No,
just
off
this top part.
The back.
So you're wanting that right there.
All the way down.
The full length of it, even where the bolt's in? Cause this goes.
How much bolt is sticking out in there?
Well, it goes about halfway into that part that's not the little. It goes about halfway into this side.
Yeah, we'll just cut it all the way across. I mean, how much are we gonna save, you think?
I don't know. The way I look at getting some thread in this thick part.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Yeah, that's good.
I mean, I cut that thick part down about there and then take this there because all you need is this bushing part here.
Right, for the washer.
So we'll step it a little bit. I'll come across here, I'll cut about half of that there and then come over here and take just a teeny bit or just like you say, all the way across it.
Cut it right down. Let's cut it right down to that line that you got there and then stop right there where the bolt is. So you're making it like that and then leave a little extra on that side.
To the top of that side now.
Yeah. I mean,
this is sort of a guesstimate, you know, because this thing doesn't.
I know, it reads in 16ths. We have one watcher and one thumbs up. What'd you do with my soda?
I didn't do anything. It's all clean right there in that bag.
I'm gonna drink a root beer while this gets. Where did summer go? Two and two. Good morning, Alex from Scotland. Hootman. Let the ending begin. Bad Chad. What happened?
Nothing. I'm no way I can index that thing, but it's there.
Man, we're not building a watch.
Well, do more of that. That's the bushing side now.
It'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm not quite down to the line.
I don't know. What do you think? You want to get as much weight off as you can, but
I mean, I could literally still take that all the way across right there at that depth setting and get that off of it, some of that.
okay.
And
Whatever.
then that, I think I would leave it at that once I did that. I don't think I want anymore.
Dan, we're modifying your slider. Too heavy. Came out nice. Might put this together today. That's good. That's really good. Wait a minute. Okay, yeah, I see. You take
Black, this is the threaded side. The non-colored side is the threaded side. The other side's your bushing side.
Let's see. It flies around this way. We want that on the outside. Is that right? That on the inside. So, like so. We really need to file some of that off because it's really tight in there.
Yeah, you need to do two things.
See how tight it is?
Yeah, you have to file it to round, take them little corners off there a little bit, so where it'll suck up in that round hole a little
Yeah.
further. Just round these little edges off just a teeny bit. You still got plenty of meat out, threads to catch and bushing. So rounding them little edges off will.
Let's see what the boys have to say. Section 5. Okay, good morning, Alan. Good morning, Chris. Alexander, everybody. Yeah, 4 hours on that phone streaming, it didn't like it. It was down to 1% when I got home. And that was with it plugged in.
Yeah, obviously didn't like that.
This is. Okay, here's the elevator sticker. It looks kind of dirty, but it's gray. It's I'm starting to build up that gray color on it. It's clear dope with white and black in it. And after a few more coats, of course the gray will build it'll cover really easy. When there's I mean, they're starting to get a shine on this. Probably 2 more coats and be ready for paint. I got a complaint. Medium Brodak silk span is crap. And it's not the same. It's not. We got no idea what kind of paper it is, but it's junk. Not the same as we used to get when we were kids. K&S. Lightweight ain't so. This is lightweight on here. It's not so bad, but the medium that I put on the wing, I'm having issues with it. I might have to strip off the center and cover it with light. We'll see what it looks like. I've been heating and doping and setting in the sun to try to get it straightened out. This is John's plane. He's been working on over a year. Get it clear soon. You use SIG. Okay. I might have to try SIG. We'll order 10 sheets of SIG. Why did you stamp small on the end of this?
Because that's the small end of it.
Oh, it's got a taper in it now?
Ever so slightly, yeah.
How much?
Maybe 1,000, couple thousands. Not very much at all, but some.
What is JJL2?
There's L1 and L2. Well, it's a L for large end. J because they're mine. And number 2 mold. This is JJ. That's the small end. This is JJ L4 or L1. That's number 1 mold, large end, me. This is number 1, stamp 1 1. This is number 2, stamp 2 2 2. This will be 1. See, I already stamped 1. This will be number 2. So these will be a pair. That'll be a pair. This will be a pair.
2 tanks at a time?
Yeah. I can't see making a mess for less than that. I'd rather do 4 at a time, but I'm not going to make 8 of those things. Or 8 of those, or 4 of those, and 8 of those. That's equivalent right now of about 40 hours of work. See if that'll slide up down in there now. Well, the sides of it, a couple of swipes.
The black end is a threaded end?
The black end is the bushing end. It doesn't matter, it should fit either way in there. See if it will slide all the way up.
It won't slide at all. It needs a few strokes on the, kick the size down.
I did, a little bit. Might be better than that. Take this file right here.
should be okay. It's a precision fit, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm. But you still want it to move.
Too tight. Too tight.
That's just an edge file. This is square one here.
Still too damn tight.
It's fitting me.
These sliders are different than ball link sliders because I'm not using ball links. So it's not a T-nut, it's a bush nut. There we go. Maybe a little, few swipes more. Don't want it sloppy in there.
I'm gonna clean the steel out a little bit. Get all the way up in there. Yeah, good. We'll go all the way down the other way. Rounded both ends of it off. Still all tight, isn't it?
Yeah. Like working on jewelry.
Yeah.
Look at that sandpaper. See that burr on the end of that? A little bit. Okay, now get your ass in there. So we want the nut on the inside. So it's got to go on the outside. Pretty close, but it's not
Still tight.
brass is a lot softer than steel. Let's see what the boys say. 8 and 10. Pretty plain, John, Alan says.
Thank you.
I just found silk span in Iowa, Sid Manufacturing. Slide good now?
Yeah, I gotta round them corners off a little bit.
Almost, huh?
Almost close.
Square filed right there. Gotta be a machinist,
Watchmaker.
watchmaker, painter, jeweler. I saw this set at Harbor Freight for $69. This clamp set.
Yeah, they go for there anywhere from $60, $70 to $150.
But
You can get metric or that's standard.
they didn't have any 1, 2, 3 blocks.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3 blocks are nice to have. You can get them on eBay pretty cheap, and they're nice for high quality. So the real 1, 2, 3 block is perfect.
Well, I got my chronometer.
But I mean, they're close enough for
What we're doing.
hacking around.
50. It's upside down.
Well, I wasn't looking at how it went in there. I just see it, turn it always and see if it'll work from both sides or whatever.
That works nice that way.
You can tell it's a machine fit if you don't have it a little bit off and you try to pull it out, it's stuck. It's pretty fine fit, yeah. As long as it moves easy, because when you get it up in there, if you want to move it and it's stuck, you play in hell trying to get that thing to move in there.
So we got the airplane this way, goes on this way.
And if you need more up, you know what you do. You just flip it around the other way and put it in there.
That way
That's
there.
plenty good.
Yeah, it'll probably end up right there.
Yeah, bend up about 3/4 of an inch. And you're not using ball link, so you don't have to worry about spreading that horn open. So I was telling Rob about, because Rob didn't know this. He said, I'm gonna use ball links on my airplane. I said, well, make sure they're nice and free, and before you even put them in your airplane, use your freest ones. And I said, you gotta put a washer on, the ball link, and then a washer, and then your nut. Your lock washer and your nut after that. And I said, if you don't do that, that ball will spread that adjustable horn out. And you might be flying along and all of a sudden your controls are loose.
You might hit the ground like I did.
Really? I didn't know that. Well, yeah, you're putting a round hole, a round piece into a slot. You tighten it down. It's only, and I showed him, he says, I sold him that almost ready to cover SV11.
Mhm.
And I asked him, I said, answer me this, was the belt crank done like this or was it crimped ends? He says it was done like this. I said, then I've already replaced the lead outs and put good lead outs in it and tied them.
You see the belt crank on this airplane? It has crimps on it.
Well, that's because Dan crimps stuff.
Yeah.
I don't like crimps. If they're real crimp, a true crimp that crimps all the way around equally and makes it like a stop sign shape, okay. But if it's just putting a little mark in it, then that creates a hard point right there, you know, and those little marks.
Dan brought a special set of pliers to crimp those, and it's crimped evenly all the way around. It's round, it's not stop sign, it's round, it's crimped.
Well, that's fine. Like an airplane crimp.
Yeah, it was. He had me put that crimp, those eyelets, on a screwdriver on the ground and then pull up until it broke. It broke the line, it didn't break the crimp.
Well, I think what happens more on crimps isn't necessarily that they won't take the pull, is that there's a stress riser there. Because a lot of guys will just take side cutters or something like that, or a pair of pliers, and just put a couple little things in them. Well, wherever those little crimps are, there's a stress riser right there. However so small it may be, and they can move back and forth in there, and they'll break.
Well, I was going to change out the lead out until Dan showed me that, and he said I've been doing it like that for, like, okay.
But if it's an aircraft crimp where it crimps all the way around there evenly, that's about as good as you can get. I mean, you can't do any better than that.
Okay, we're going to put this thing together, clear everything off.
Let me move my airplane again.
It's a beauty. That's a June RXL. It's the only other one in existence besides mine. Everybody always asks me, are there plans for that? Right here.
I didn't use any plans. I used numbers.
I'll go up and get that stuff. gonna have to repair that wing before I can put it together. I mean, that inboard side is just all wrinkled up, so what I'm gonna do is I'll cover that underside inboard panel with the lightweight stuff, and then we'll bring it up. So, remember I was bitching about the silk span, we're gonna go up and fix this panel before we put it together.
Yeah, much better to fix it now than wait. Let me stick this back together real quick here.
I got enough silk span left to do that. I'll have to order some more for the fuselage or do it in carbon one. You don't really want to do it in carbon because it's too heavy. But at least we'll get to show these guys that it's not a disaster when something happens.
No, I'm saying it's only wood. It's only tissue. It's only paper. It's only wood. It's only whatever. It's only twice the labor.
Yep, gonna need a good sharp X-Acto knife though. So, scalpel handle and a new blade. Where's your scalpel?
And that one there somewhere. There should be a couple of them.
There's one. Where do you want to put this blade?
Stick it in that little wood block there on the table back by them rolls of sandpaper back in there.
Wood block. Oh, where all these, I see.
Those are all old.
This number 11 here, is this the pointy one or not?
That I can't tell you. That's a pointy one.
Yeah, not really.
Is that got the rounded over tip?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess.
Is that a green wrapper?
Yep. The good ones are the blue wrapper. Use the pliers, I don't want to cut my finger off today.
Here.
Okay, this is a good blade. Where do you want me to put this one? I'll just put it in this.
Just put it in the package, yeah.
So it's going to be a few minutes before we start putting this together. I see John's doing dreaming here.
Dreaming. Just taking measurements of my tank.
Oh, I thought you were toweling.
Those are tank body dimensions.
Dreaming, he's dreaming it's coming out at 60 ounces.
No, I already know it's going to be 64-ish.
We got 12 likes and 9 watchers. We must be boring today.
They're looking for that stuff that's skunk work stuff. Unobtainium stuff.
Okay.
Like what's wrapped in them blue towels over there. It's a secret.
Can you grab my soda while I take this up? Yeah, and let you go on camera.
You can take responsibility for that.
Okay, we got to the garage. We're gonna repair this wing. Covering. Crappy Brodak silk span. Oh, got to have the electricity, I forgot. I gotta go out there and get the silk span. Okay, let me explain what happened here. You look at the inboard, no, the outboard bottom there. It's all, I even tried to dope it and heat it, it wouldn't do it. It wrinkled up. And I don't mean just a little wrinkled, it's badly wrinkled. So in order to fix this, scalpel, I'm going to cut it right along the edge. This will be about a half an hour fix. Then we'll get to put it together.
Acting like it could rain any minute.
Bit of glue on that.
You guys tread at your own discretion on Sig silk span, because we don't know that stuff's the same old Sig silk span or not. I mean, if you've used it,
Can you see up here? I knocked the cap.
dude, recently.
So, put a little thinner on this. Get this to come, or dope or whatever on these cap strips, get them to release. Can't believe I had such a problem with this. I had some other drastic wrinkles on the inboard side, but I used some of my tricks to get the wrinkles out. This silk span is terrible. Terrible. Doesn't act like soap pen, it acts like doctor paper.
Medium.
I'm only showing you this. God damn it, that glue ain't sticking. Fuck. I'm only showing you this because things like this happen in model building and you need to know how to overcome them. And it's really not a big deal. Not as bad as the Discovery Channel Horton 229 crew. And they were the engineers. I'd have loved to have been there. Say, hey, you Nimrods, let me show you how it's done.
You want some straight thinner?
Yeah, that might work. Got one thing going for me. Well, two things. Inboard, underside. Usually this happens outboard, top.
Yeah, exactly.
Damn. You got anybody saying anything?
Hey. Where do we get our span from? Been getting it from Brodak. SIG, I'm not so sure of anymore. I mean, they changed their stuff too. So travel at your own risk type deal. And if there's still A and B out there, some old stock, if you can find it, probably be for a premium price. eBay or PayPal or whatever.
This junk thinner?
No, that's good thinner. I didn't want to use junk thinner on that.
We got two kinds of thinners. We got good thinner, which is Randolph thinner, and then we've got just junk, generic, cheapest stuff we can buy thinner.
$40 for 5 gallons.
And we use that stuff for cleaning brushes and clean up and that kind of junk, and use only the good thinner in the dope when we're covering and
Paper
stuff.
even feels different. It feels like paper. It doesn't feel.
Yeah,
like...
it doesn't feel like silk span. Weird. I never did a rip test on it to see if it. Trash man came this morning, so I don't have any scraps.
This only sets me back a half an hour. Not a big deal. But I'm damn sure not gonna let it go.
No, not as bad as that was, I wouldn't.
It's a good thing I found it though, because there's one cap strip I didn't get glued down. Right there.
Yeah.
Probably saved me.
The thin stuff didn't run out there as far as I thought it did. Probably the tip got clogged right at that point.
Would it, I mean, probably wouldn't hurt anything, but better to glue it than.
Yeah, well, it's part of the structure.
Okay, come here and hold this up so I can get this thick set glue down in there. Number 6. I got it. I'll go get some shows there. Now I have a piece of medium, so we ain't doing that. I'm just gonna put the light on there, and the medium's already covered the wood, so that's good enough. John's just cleaning off the fuzzies off of there. And this tip here is going to be a problem too. Might do the tip out here. Close enough.
Feather that a little bit so there's not a little leg there.
It'll be fine. Think this tip will be all right?
It's looking a lot better than what it did.
Hold on to it so it doesn't slide. Yeah, you're a little late. I've already been on. Yeah, I know. Good. Yeah, you can have that again.
Keep pulling because you don't have this end of it.
Come on. It's like I forgot how to do this. Now, if this bag's up, there's something definitely wrong. What do you think? Better?
You know, I quit rubbing down here. I didn't continue on.
Yeah, the lightweight stuff works okay, but this medium stuff,
I rubbed down to about here. Didn't do anything on this trailing edge, but that's sort of what you did before. So.
okay, tip,
Want me to overhang the end?
need to turn it around. Get a little better angle on the dangle. Okay. Dope money. Before we take it, I gotta get a coat on it, a couple coats, the whole thing.
I don't know if you can see them, but there's a lot of little wrinkles in there.
Those little ones right there should pull out. Dry it out. Okay, so my recommendation is don't use medium silk pen from Brodak. Crap. Of course, then again, that's what my tucker's covered with. But what this just showed you is, don't panic. Everything's fixable. I'll wait a couple minutes for this to dry out, and then I'll hit it with dope. What are they saying?
Where was the large section that was bad? It was the whole open bay area, just about on the bottom outboard side. Had big major wrinkles, pretty much all over in the whole open bay.
And what gets me about that is when I left here, the wing was entirely tight.
Yeah, it was flat.
The rudder did the same thing. It was entirely tight, and when I woke up this morning, it was entirely bagged up. So I repaired that as well. So something's not right with Brodak medium. Let's force dry it. See what happens. Oopsie, got no electricity. Yep, the whole underside. Ain't got all day, so we'll force dry it. John doesn't like this practice, but I've been doing it for 25 years, force drying. So, that turned out pretty good. So we'll rip this, throw a coat of dope on it, we'll go down and put it together. I'll never use that medium again. You can see what heavyweight would do.
I don't like heavyweight at all. It's way too heavy. I mean, you got I don't know if I'd sit here and go as far as say I'll never use it again. Considering that we've done so many in the past, it's turned out okay, and 3/4 of this is alright.
Yeah, but the lightweight works so good.
Yeah, but you know, I had a bunch of pinholes in the lightweight on mine. And if you're not using primer, they can be a pain in the butt to get filled.
Get laid down. This wing looks the best.
Rip it. Just tear it. Tear it the other direction now, 90 degrees to it. It doesn't change. Take a piece of that doesn't have paint on it. See if it rips hard one way and not the other. It has no grain to it. Tree silk span, if you got it, it'll rip hard the long ways, or easy the long ways and hard crossways. If you take like a paper towel or something and you rip it 90 degrees to each other, one long ways and one short ways, it'll rip the same both directions. Silk span's not supposed to do that. It's supposed to have a grain to it. This doesn't have, it's got a teeny bit, but not, and that old stuff used to have real prominent. I say they change everything, new and improved.
Yeah.
We'll make it better, cheaper, more powerful, cost more.
Just leave it the way it was. Okay, let's get a coat of dope on this and see what happens. Yeah, I can tell already this is better. It doesn't bag at all. Maybe do 2 coats, so that I'll go do that. 2 coats will catch it up to the other side. Right?
Should, yeah.
That's what I got on the other side is 2 coats. Got slight wrinkles in it, but nothing like that other one. Man.
I shouldn't have done that far along.
I still got a slight problem out here. But I think that by heating it and doping it'll come out. Can already see that I'm gonna go over my limit on dope. It's about a half a quart in to the project now. And I ain't even close.
Well, you're just now where you're thin 50%, but you've used up a quarter more. Now, half a quart more.
Huh?
You've used up a half a quart more than you should have.
Okay. Yeah, that looks a whole lot better. Where they eat that from out there?
Yeah, A speed light.
DJ screaming.
Yeah. Big Chris flying probably, and Billy Hughes launching.
Is it a live stream or an upload?
I don't know.
See, he wants to take over my position. More power to him.
So they're now playing.
It doesn't say live.
I don't see live anywhere on there.
Yeah, it's not live. Oh, maybe it is. No. 6 minutes. Is that on Facebook?
Yeah.
On Face Nose? I'm a communist.
Oh, this is up now. It's that next one. And the first question, and the speed was, well, we're antiquated at the Dayton Buzzing Buzzards. We still use stopwatches. We don't have all the expensive timing machines and all that stuff. So it takes a little while to everything get computed out.
And the speed was 48 miles an hour. Okay, that's one coat of dope. Let's put another one on and we'll go down and put it together.
He's trying.
See, this sounds tight and this sounds loose. I mean,
The new one?
huh?
The new one sounds tighter?
Yeah. The
I don't know, something happened with that piece of silk skin or something.
I'm wondering if I ought to just do the whole thing.
TJ must be CDing that whole thing out there. I thought Haywood was the CD. Seems to me like they got TJ in charge of everything. Here we go, we got the Failed Attempt of Evil Knievel to Jump the Snake River. Rocket-powered motorcycle rocket looking thing. Where he pulled the parachute too early.
That wasn't failed, that was the plan.
Oh yeah, well, you go to watch Evil Knievel to watch him crash. You don't go to watch him to succeed. Doesn't anybody ever put 8-inch rotary tables on sale? You can find 10, 12, 16, 24, all them damn things. They take a crane to put them on the mill.
This thing is a disaster. Bam. Put another coat on it, I guess. Yeah, that lightweight stuff come out a lot better than the medium. So, recommendation, don't use medium. I mean, I'll be able to get it, it's just going to take some work.
He's a handsome painting.
Let's see what the boys have to say. Okay. Hour and 28 minutes, 15 and 15. Thank you guys. Like, subscribe, and share. Super chat if you're so inclined if these videos have helped you out. I just showed you a trick that took 50 years to figure out. Don't panic. Now I swear I almost want to redo the whole wing in that lightweight stuff. What do you think?
That's up to you.
Now come and look at this. Just look at the difference between the lightweight and that stuff there. I can see problems cropping on this, you know.
Definitely got a different. If you're thinner, this is gonna feel a little thicker. But what gets me is, where's that new stuff? This is a medium. Now, old silk span would rip straight one direction and crooked the other direction, right? And you'd feel a difference. That ripped out as straight as you could be. It rips a little crooked, but I don't feel the resistance there like I used to feel. I mean, it just...
Well, that stuff there seems like notebook paper, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, it's got some dope on it, but... I mean, look at that. That ripped as straight, both directions as you can get.
Yeah. I think it would be to my benefit to recover the whole thing with what I got left.
You got enough to do it?
Yeah, I got 2 sheets, so we used quarter of a sheet on that. And, you know, this is already as a base.
Double covering the leading and trailing edges,
Right.
Which probably won't hurt anything. Just wait. At least you don't have a lot of dope on it.
No. Because look, see these wrinkles here?
Mm-hmm. After all you did to those corners, those tips, I would have thought that would have already been out of there by now.
And how nice these are over here. I mean, this one here is still a little wet, but it... We're trying to build a front row airplane. You can't hardly...
No, you can't skim.
Fuck it. Well, guys, I was gonna put it together right now, but we're gonna recover this, and so we're about
Hour and a half.
hour behind schedule. But I gotta do it. I can't, I got so much time invested in this thing. Come on. I better get some center on that.
Yeah, don't try to peel it up without. I'll get some on there and that starts soaking.
Yeah. We'll do the whole thing. I just, so I'll have double covering on the, and that'll be good actually, you know, more sanding room for the leading and trailing edges. How many guys would say, nah, that's good enough?
Or they go way deep into the paint job and then regret going that far into it. Well, there was that large of a section that was bad.
Hmm?
Yes, there was that large of a section that was bad.
The whole thing. I don't like this.
They were big wrinkles, you know. We're talking a foot. There was 6 or 7 wrinkles in that quarter panel that were a foot long and an inch wide.
You know, you can handle some wrinkles, but
Yeah. I mean, I played around with them before where I had a plane that had a few wrinkles in it, and I played around. Finally, I'm all the way into the putting clear coat, top coat on the color, and I'm still playing with some wrinkles, which I should have stopped long before then and done this right here, exactly. Instead, I said, they'll come out, that dope will keep shrinking, this and that. So you got to call the bluff right and early. Save a lot. Would have saved me a lot of headaches. Now I got an airplane with a mediocre finish job on it that is okay for maybe a sport plane or something like that. But when you're flying and you're being judged and your appearance is judged,
that's
and
crap.
I've never seen any silkscreen like that before. Rips like a piece of notebook paper. Like that little piece.
That didn't turn out bad.
No, that's completely different. You put one coat of dope on that already? Or is that just plain?
Yeah, there's dope on it.
I was mucking around on my phone when you were doing that. That seemed to shrink up okay, except that one's got a few little wrinkles down around in there.
Yeah, but
You
that
could probably just wipe that down.
Cover with a piece of wood.
Oh, does it?
Yep.
I don't think I've ever seen the plans for this plane for the P-47. What about the weight?
What about it?
Well, you've got the equivalent of about one sheet of silk span, maybe, not quite a whole sheet of silk span left on the airplane. That's your weight. It probably cost him an eighth of an ounce.
No, not even that much. It's in the grains. I mean, what does a sheet weigh? Quarter ounce?
Well, I'm trying to compensate for weight of 2 coats of dope on it.
Better to catch it now.
I'll tell you what, I covered some airplanes in the past with double layers of silk span. I used 2 layers of lightweight silk span on it, and they came out beautiful. But they were a little bit heavier, but you'd be surprised. It's not quite what you think it is.
Yeah, but when you did that, that was before my diet.
Oh, yeah.
Could have been a little heavier just because you leaned on the can a little longer. You think it's good enough? Yeah. There's a big difference between the two. There's another rib I forgot. Okay. Would it hurt anything? No, but we're gonna glue it. Where'd the glue go? Maybe it was meant to be, so I could find those ribs that I didn't glue. Oh, come over here and hold this, or whatever. Approximately in the same spot too on the both wings. Oh shoot. It'll be fine. Shake it out. Shake the dust out. look at this. This already has a shine on it. One coat. Big difference. Big difference. Okay, let's do her up again. You guys got a double dose of silk span.
Yeah.
I think this time I'm just going to wet it and not dope it at all until it's all clear, you know. So I lost a little time. Big deal. Need some more, lots more. We got going here. Didn't,
Fold over on itself.
we got to pick it up and rearrange it. Okay. Set her down. I don't want to do this 3 times.
Gets to the point where it's not fun.
Still not right here. I guess we're gonna have to dope the center down and pull it out to the end. Be nice and strong in the center.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's 4 layers.
Get some dope on the leading end of it. Right there, trailing edge one. Don't want any wrinkles in this at all. Okay, so what do we got going on over here? Why is there wrinkles and stuff? I just don't want to cooperate this wing. You don't have any dope on it here. Got to get all this out. What do you think?
It needs to be stretched that way.
Yeah. Of course, I already doped it down here. Shut up. I just don't want to act right. There we go. Guess I'm gonna have to start doping at some time.
Well, yeah, because it's just gonna keep pulling up on you. You start working towards the tip. There you go. Hey, you're getting her under control. Gotta teach it a lesson or two.
I don't know why it's fighting, it can't win.
No, it can't win. It's not gonna win. Except normally what it does is it starts breaking along the edge where you're trying to pull it, and then you don't have anything to pull on.
That's already happened out here.
Have we tried Jap tissue over silk span or poly span? No, I tell you what, Jap tissue can be a royal pain in the patootie to
We tried Jap tissue out here in the
use.
garage.
It's hard to cover big, large areas with that stuff.
It just
does-
does not bend.
Yeah, it doesn't conform at all. As far as putting it over top of something else, no, we typically try to stay away from double covering because that just doubles your chances of catastrophe. But a single layer of Jap tissue, by all means, if it was a little bit easier to work with, I'd do that in a heartbeat. Or if you could get it in 32-inch lengths instead of 24, then you'd have something to work with.
Keep it from moving around.
And you get it one iota a bit too wet.
I think it'll be all right. Got a couple
Take
more.
your palm and roll that, stretch it. There you go.
It'll be fine. That's a whole lot better already than Mr. Bago. We'll get it together today. I'm a lot
Put a
happier.
little more dope, like right in here, and palm it. Yeah, this is just 2-inch span right in there.
Okay.
Let her dry.
Huh?
Let her dry.
Just listening to that, I'm 1,000% happier.
I mean, that's just how mine. I did it with lightweight tissue. My only problem I had was some pinholes in it, but I think I really had my base coat clear too thin. I should have put the first couple coats on there at 60-40 or something instead of 50-50 or. I mean, I'm not accurately measuring thinner and all that stuff, so it might have been 60% thinner and 40% dope that I put on. Who knows?
Yep, I'm a lot happier with that. The lightweight works great. Medium shit. You know what? I'll tell you the difference. My Tucker, that medium was hanging on my wall for 5 years.
Older batch.
Yep.
Like I said, you know, they'll change that stuff and not tell you. You know, those factories don't care. It's got the same basic numbers or whatever.
They just want your $6.99.
Yeah. Which is about 5 times more than what it's worth.
Yeah, it used to be a quarter a sheet. Okay, we go operate now.
As far as trying stuff, over the years we've tried pretty much about everything there is to try.
Yep, that's the difference. I forgot all about that. Because I bought, when I did the Monado, I bought, it's been more than 5 years. It's been almost going 10 years that it hung on my wall. because I had a choice. I ordered a bunch of, like I did here, I ordered a bunch of tissue, and my Monado, I was gonna cover it with medium, because I wasn't gonna go with polyspan again.
What is this? There's bumps underneath that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a CA bump.
Is it really?
Yeah. It'll be fine. Even if I have,
That's that cap strip that you reclaim.
yeah.
Shit.
When it dries with dope, I'll sand it there and then maybe put a spot of tissue on it. It'll be fine. It's one of them deals.
I haven't actually used polyspan ever, but I used that SIG stuff, the coverall,
Yeah, it's heavy stuff.
and that's heavier than polyspan, but it sort of acts about the same way. But that stuff takes so much stuff. That's covering with silk.
Coverall's what's on the fuselage of my shoestring,
Weighs a bunch.
because that was the only thing I could get. I wanted to do it in polyspan, but I couldn't get it to go around all those stupid compound curves. So it was either coverall or silk, and decided coverall.
Gotta heat that stuff and pull it around.
Oh yeah. Did you ever see my shoestring?
Oh yeah.
Someday I may take it off the wall and fly it again. It only got like 10 flights on it.
Yeah, well, you only competed once with it.
No, I did it twice.
Did you do it twice? Thought it was only once.
Brodax and the Nats. First place at Brodax and third place at the Nats. I got hosed at the Nats by our buddy.
It don't matter what event that you're in, there is a good old boys thing going on.
They really tried to hose me with Charlie Bauer's kid. But
I've seen some fictitious stuff going on. I won't say what it was or who did it or anything, but I know all about it, and it was pretty bogus. Had good intentions, but the road to hell is paved with good intentions.
I gotta tell you, if this woke culture, what are you gonna end up with? Crap.
You can't give a trophy to everybody. You gotta learn how to lose. Second place is only the first loser.
They give trophies all the way to 10th at the Nats. Yeah, I'm ninth loser.
It's
John and I got trophies, and we didn't even fly one time.
yeah. We got 2 trophies apiece.
Yeah.
Talk about an empty trophy. Those were empty trophies now. We were talking earlier, it's like coming in first place and there's only one contestant.
And he didn't even have to fly but a level lap.
What position did you get? I got first place. How many people were there? One. If that's the case, I got first or second place every weekend we go flying.
Okay.
What was that? Yeah, Barb said she'll buy us some trophies.
Oh, I want one. You know what? I'm gonna fix this now.
Be a bad idea.
Yep, that was a CA bump.
You can patch it right now, and while you're building up coats and get it buried.
Yep.
See, watch what he's doing here, guys. He's ripping that piece of silk span. Didn't cut it. You rip it, there's no hard edges anywhere on that little piece. It'll feather in much easier, better.
Right spot, I guess. Yep.
Don't roll it up.
How long we been on now? 2 hours yet?
Yeah, 206.
Along about 3 hours, we'll be putting it together. Of course, got to go to lunch, so won't get put together till after lunch, probably. Got some wrinkles that came back, but they're nothing like them other ones were.
Yes, I'd look 100%.
What?
100% better. That open bay. $18 watching, 17 thumbs up.
Do another quick coat, and I'll flip it over, and we'll do the top side. Big difference. This is a crash course in doping fast. Do I recommend it? No.
Yeah, not for the faint of heart.
I get away with a lot of stuff most people can't. Okay. Nothing?
Nada.
If we were in the desert and it was warm, this would already be dry. Leading edge was ready for paint already. I got a shine on it. Sand it and top coat it and be ready. Okay, flip it over and do the other side.
This even rips different than that. I mean, you definitely feel a harder rip one direction.
There's another one
A
right
lot
there.
more jagged.
We'll let it go. Oh, it's nice. Feels light with no flaps on it.
Yeah.
Let's see if it stayed straight or turned into a banana. Straight. Okay, so let's assess this. Does this look all right, or should I change it out? Yeah, good.
Big wrinkles in it, or that's a double layer of dough.
Got a bump there.
Personally, I would do it all, just so you got the same material over both sides of the wing.
Okay.
I mean, that's how I see it.
Is that for the buzzard sign?
No.
this have to be done? No. But I'm doing it so I don't have any problems down the road. I hate to rag on Brodak product, but I'm not sponsored by Brodak, so I gotta give my honest opinion. And honestly, it's medium is just no good. And like John said, even the light is not the same as what we used to get, the K&S, K&L, or whatever the hell it was, K&S. Okay, brush and thinner. A little thinner on the cap strips, so hopefully it'll come up easy. Get them all soaking. And it wasn't because my covering job was bad, it was because the material was bad. Could I have taken the silk span off all the wood? Yes. What a pain that would have been. So this was an easy, simple fix. Just cut out the open bays and tissue over the solid surfaces.
Any more loose ones?
No. We do, we're gonna have to get some thin set, fix it. No. I just missed a couple. I wonder if that's why we're having a problem with the bubbling, the tissue itself.
Very well could be. Could have been contaminated with something. You know, and if it does, if say that whole big giant roll got hit with something, you know, WD-40 or whatever, or put little spots all over it that you couldn't really see but were there. There we go, Billy Hughes with the B speed again. You know what you hardly ever see anybody running is D speed anymore.
Yeah.
Get them big blocks out there cranking up.
I built a few of them for Franklin. You ever hear of him?
Who?
Bob Franklin?
Bob Franklin? No, he must have been a West Coast guy.
No, lives in St. Louis.
St. Louis, really? Never
Yeah.
heard of him.
He flew D.
Barry Tippett and Barry flew D speed and a couple other guys that aren't around anymore.
Okay, let's cut the sheet up. Yeah. It's like cutting with a saw.
Yeah, those scissors aren't very good. Those are some of them that's been used to hack music wire and sandpaper and everything else.
Okie dokie.
You know, not to mention that old K&S stuff and SIG stuff all come rolled too, didn't come folded. I used to take that stuff and iron it.
Yeah.
How you gonna do this fuselage with more silk span? It's not, gonna have to buy more.
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
Fuselage won't be ready to go for a month. Now, why did that lay down so nice?
4 hands on it.
Yeah, but we couldn't do that with Japanese tissue.
No, good.
We'd have had to have 20 hands. Ooh, better come down this way.
Yeah, pull it.
The whole wing down. Come down.
Oh, you gotta pull it too.
Okay. That was pretty painless.
Many a times I wish I had an extra set of hands.
I think while I'm waiting for this to dry, I'll cut this other side out instead of force drying it.
You got several packages of K&S silk or silk span. It said silk. There's a difference. Never had the guts to try to use it.
What? Silk?
So if it's silk, goes on the same way. Wet it down, put it on, stretch it out. Sometimes you got to use pins to sort of pin it in place.
UCA.
Yeah, Sparky said UCA. I've never UCA, but I've never had to pin it either. The first thing I learned to do was silk, not silk span.
Such a hard thing. Ah! Flip that back over. Oh, you won something.
Yep. Spectrum wants to give us a deal.
I got a deal for you. Quick call. AT&T keeps calling me, and you know what it is?
What's that?
They want to talk to you about your AT&T service, which I don't have. They want you to take a survey, a political survey.
Yeah, and they want to charge you for it. They've been calling us wanting to charge us like $75. Well, if you don't have the money, we'll accept a $10 donation to take this political survey.
No.
You can stick it up your ass. That's what we pay you for, to go do your job. Real fine cloth. Yeah, it's silk. It's like a silk scarf. Years ago, people used to cover their airplanes with old silk scarves. They'd be
Nylon scarf.
paisley and all sorts of different colors, checkerboard and polka dot, and
We used nylon women's scarves back in the day too.
yeah. Well, if you didn't have silk years ago, the silk was cheap.
You know what? I did the top first. Oh no, I did the bottom. I was thinking, what the hell am I doing there?
Wet the stuff, dope down the perimeters, let it dry, stretch out your wrinkles. You're more crucial about stretching out wrinkles because it really, like I said, you might have to pin it in a couple spots to make it sort of stay, but it'll do the same way as this tissue does. It will shrink and warp stuff.
Badly.
It will turn stuff into pretzels if you're not careful with it.
Okay, let's turn this around. Feels lighter already.
When you put your first coats of dope on it, you don't want to rub them in. You want to try to do it upside down. Hold it over your head, paint upside down. If the paint goes through it and puddles on the inside, you'll have a real mess. As soon as you get a couple coats of dope on it, that pretty much stops that from happening, but the first couple coats, can be a real pain if you're not careful. You don't want to brush the dope into it. You want to sort of lay it on the top of it. So if you load your paintbrush up and you drag it across, you're probably only going to get one stroke. You won't get front and back, front and back, front and back strokes out of a brush load. That'll be pushing it through the weave. Just sort of let that paintbrush under its own weight lay on there and pull it along. Then go on to the next line. You get about 2 coats on it, and then you can pretty much start painting normal at that point. The biggest thing that most people do when they're brushing on a paint finish or a dope finish is they don't use enough thinner. The thinner it is, the better it'll be, and the less brush strokes and everything else you'll see in it. Would be better to spray it on as soon as you can. Years ago, they didn't have spray equipment. Well, they may have had it, but wasn't available. I'm holding your wing. Wasn't available to your normal Joe. And so they brushed everything on, and boy, oh boy, I'll tell you what, some of them guys had some beautiful finishes.
A lot of sanding.
A lot of sanding. I saw a picture once, actually it was a little short video of a young guy back in the 50s or 50s probably, sitting in his backyard, and he had little round pieces of sandpaper glued to his fingertips.
Could have been Ron O'Toole.
Had an I-beam wing that he was finishing, making little round circles.
Ron O'Toole. I bet you that was him.
And that's what they did. Got to get those brush strokes out of there. So the only way they come out is sanding, and they paint one coat of paint would go on, say, chordwise, leading edge to trailing edge. The next coat would go on the center of the wing to the wingtip. Next coat would go on at a 45-degree angle one direction, and then the next coat would go the other direction, and they just keep building them up in all different directions. And that was all to help keep the brush strokes out of it.
So this weekend, yesterday and today, you got a crash course. 2 times, gotta go. 2 times, covered it twice. What are you gonna do? Wasted $7. But
Gary Tultz was a master at silk covering. Gary's a pretty good guy. Pretty good at finishing. Just flew with Gary not too long ago.
one more and then we can carry on.
Rattle cans.
Yeah,
Yeah, Gary, we did a lot of rattle can paint. I used to use Duplicolor all the time.
It works, but it cracks.
It cracks like an alligator skin. It's not flexible. It'll last for a while. Might last a year, might last 5 years. You just never know when it start cracking. Just not flexible. And you can tell when you're painting your colors on, and say you put your paint on a jig with a little piece of plywood in a hinge slot or something, and you pull that piece of plywood out and you see the paint crack off around where that plywood went in there. That'll tell you real quick how brittle it is. And I have never tried to put castor in automotive lacquer paint. I've never tried it. I use Duplicolor rattle can paint a lot of the times, and I found that the little cans, they had two size cans. They had like an 8-ounce and a 16-ounce can or something like that. And the little 8-ounce cans sprayed about 100 times better than the big cans. I don't know whether it was the nozzle for sure or whatever. It probably was the nozzle, was a little different than the big cans. And it came out like a finer mist, you know, and more consistent. And so we'd buy just the little cans. We wait for them to go on sale and buy them, because all the auto guys, they would all buy the big cans. And so the old cans were sitting there, nobody buy them up, and they go on sale all the time. So
Yep, this airplane's gonna take twice as much dope as, or for the base anyway, the top coat. It should be all right. Gonna take 1 full quart for the base. I can see that coming. Got a half pint or half a quart in it now, a pint, and it's almost gone. And I don't dare thin this out at this stage, because it'll be way too thin for substrate till I get it some dope on it. So that's 1 coat there. I'll go ahead and work on this side, and I come back and do that again.
you know, I think me and Gary was talking about over at FCM. We were talking about rattle can paint jobs. And you can make some nice looking airplanes with them. I think they make a plasticizer for lacquer, for painting on plastic bumpers and stuff like that. That might be worth a try. I've never tried it myself.
Oh, Flexol.
Yep, it might be worth a try to make the paint more flexible, to keep it from crazing or cracking.
You want a gift? One o'clock already?
Yeah.
Shit, we're way past lunch. Wipe that shit on there. Do I think that this will be any heavier? No, and I'll tell you why. My Monado weighs 58 ounces, and I cover the entire wing in carbon fiber. 2/10 carbon fiber, and lightweight silk span. So I can't see that this silk span is any heavier than carbon bale. Ta-da! That worked good. Okay. Now just a quick sanding of the goop off of it. Still in good shape. Feels different, looks different, sounds different. It's just much better.
We're gonna have salami sandwiches,
Okay.
cheese and tomatoes and that kind of stuff. And put
What do you
whether you
want
want
on
mustard or mayonnaise
Everything.
or whatever.
Everything, tomato, onion,
Yeah, that's fine.
Mustard,
Mayonnaise, yeah.
mayonnaise,
either one, both.
both.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
No, we didn't have any loose ribs.
Good. I gotta check my blood, so.
Red.
Yeah, but I've been failing on doing that here at lunchtime.
Okay, so last piece of silk span for the second time. Jim, you're probably laughing at me. That's the way it goes. Let me check the messages and then we'll get busy on that. Ambroid, oh yeah, Ambroid. Ambroid. Rattle can. Okay, let's let her rip. That's ridiculous. I did all that work yesterday, 5 hours for nothing. Thanks, Brodeck. Thanks, Brodeck. Let's see here. I guess if I'm gonna have a show, you gotta be able to see me. See what I'm doing anyway. Damn. Damn. Start again. Why am I having such a hard time today? For any of you new guys that are tuning in, old school. This is from the 40s. It's an art that's been completely lost due to monopute. Everybody's lazy. No, it just takes some time and patience. And to not settle. I didn't settle for those. How's your blood? Still red?
Still red.
I was telling the guys this art is from the 40s. It's not practiced much anymore because of monopute.
Pretty much something easier. Of course, there's not much difference, just that this is wet and that's not. Still got the same principles involved.
Yeah, but there's no paint.
No mess.
Got a little bit of wrinkles going on here. What's going to happen here?
This needs to be pulled. Yeah, pull it towards that way.
I don't have any dope anywhere on anything. Guess I'll start doping it down. I don't have much to grab onto there. That'll be all right. Yeah, my Monado, the whole wing was covered with 2/10 carbon veil. And you know how light that airplane is, so this
Yeah.
this shouldn't affect much. I would think that medium silk span and carbon veil are about the same weight, wouldn't you?
Yeah. I remember when Sig had dope in the spray cans.
Yep. And aerogloss, too.
Yeah. Used to use that stuff. It worked pretty good. Didn't get your money's worth out of it, but it worked pretty good. I killed half my brain cells using that stuff as a kid. Yeah, I know what you mean. That and Android. You're welcome, Christopher.
What?
You know, use at your. Said thanks for the advice on the silk span and the lesson on silk span, and John for the advice on silk. Doesn't matter which one of us would have told you, we told you the same thing no matter what. So it's just how it is. That's the nature of the beast. Remember, there are other ways of doing it that vary a little bit. They're all basically the same thing, but they do vary. Not saying anyone's right or anyone's wrong.
No way!
Unless it's catastrophically wrong. Which I have seen some advice out there that wasn't necessarily the best advice in the world.
That's one of the reasons why this channel's around, because I used to type things on Stunt Hanger and they'd say, well, no, you can't do that. Well, shit, I've been doing it that way 40 years, you know?
And more than one way to skin the cat. I'm sure you could sit here and take contact cement or whatever and put this stuff down with contact cement if you wanted to. There's ways of doing that.
I wouldn't recommend it.
I'm not saying I recommend that, but just as an example.
Where's the regular scalpel?
I mean, you used to do it years ago. They used to use Obeachy plywood and stuff on RC wings and all that stuff, and cardboard, and instruction paper, and
We ought to do a fun airplane made out of garbage.
I made an airplane one time out of cardboard boxes that was stapled together. It was a little half airplane and it flew. Didn't last very long because I only put one coat of dope on the cardboard just to try to get some kind of sealer on it. It was heavier than I'll get out, but it was just corrugated cardboard box. You do poke a hole in it?
No, just drop some dope on it. And it wouldn't have hurt anything. I see something I have to aggravate.
Yeah.
Already have tissue down in there, so. Don't need to carry around any more than I have to. I am going to paint an airplane with a bug sprayer just to prove that I can do it. And trust me, it will be a nice paint job. I won't be doing that with this one, but I don't want to take any chances. But I know I can do it. Could probably spray with electric house paint.
House paint sprayer gun, yeah. Oh yeah. The biggest thing is sanding.
Exactly right.
How much sanding do you want to do?
The de-icing boot will go on here anyway, so it'll be hidden.
You already got, you don't have to worry about coverage. You already got a layer of silk span on it.
Trying to get it to blend now.
Anytime.
Okay, thanks.
As soon as I get this here, sit it down, and I'll do one coat on it, and we'll go and eat, and then we'll be back. And the thing for today is we're going to put this air together. Okay, lay it down. This just set us back a couple hours or so. But when John was down in the basement and I came up, and I got to looking at this thing, I just couldn't let it go. No way.
Do it now while you're set up. You're already in the groove of doing things.
I got so much time and money in this thing. I don't want to screw it up because, I'm in a rush, but I'm not in a rush. I got plenty of airplanes to fly. Not like I have to have this thing done tomorrow. So we'll get 2 coats. Got 2 coats on the other side. And then after lunch I'll put another coat on all the way across the wing, and then we'll take it down and put it together. And then at my apartment, I could take it outside, sneak it outside, and brush on a couple more coats. Okay, guys, like, subscribe, and share. We're going to go to lunch, and we'll be back after lunch to continue the madness. Yeah.
The madness it is. Leave it set down on that. We'll sit there about tipping over.
Yeah. All right, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you in about 45 minutes. Fair winds, tight lines. See ya.